This evening's debate addresses whether online education, such as massive open online courses, so-called MOOCs, will fundamentally alter the traditional classroom ecosystem in higher education or serve to enhance the college-based educational experience.
We have to think differently about human capacity. We have to get over this old conception of academic, non-academic, abstract, theoretical, vocational, and see it for what it is, a myth. Secondly, we have to recognize that most great learning happens in groups, that collaboration is the stuff of growth. If we atomize people and separate them and judge them separately, we form a kind of disjunction between them and their natural learning environment. And thirdly, it's crucially about the culture of our institutions, the habits of the institution and the habitats that they occupy. Our children are living in the most intensely stimulating period in the history of the earth. They're being besieged with information and calls for their attention from every platform, computers, from iPhones, from advertising holdings, from hundreds of television channels. And we're penalizing them now for getting distracted. We're getting our children through education by anesthetizing them. And I think we should be doing the exact opposite. We shouldn't be putting them asleep. We should be waking them up to what they have inside of themselves. But the model we have is this. I believe we have a system of education that is modeled on the interests of industrialism and in the image of it. I'll give you a couple of examples. Schools are still pretty much organized on factory lines, ringing bells, separate facilities, specialized into separate subjects. We still educate children by batches. We put them through the system by age group. Why do we do that? Why is there this assumption that the most important thing kids have in common is how old they are? Well, I know kids who are much better than other kids at the same age in different disciplines, or at different times of the day, or better in smaller groups than in large groups, or sometimes they want to be on their own. If you're interested in the model of learning, you don't start from this production line mentality. They're trying to meet the future by doing what they did in the past. And on the way, they're alienating millions of kids who don't see any purpose in going to school. When we went to school, we were kept there with a story, which was if you worked hard and did well and got a college degree, you would have a job. Our kids don't believe that. And they're right not to, by the way. You're better having a degree than not, but it's not a guarantee anymore. And particularly not if the route to it marginalizes most of the things that you think are important about yourself.
Assuming that students online and offline complete their degree, how are they better prepared for the world?
How do the online versus the old
Offline.
Model students? Okay. So to rephrase, if I'm correct, you want to know whether students who graduate with a largely offline diploma, earned largely offline, are as good, their education is as high quality as those who graduate through the old model. Is that correct? Or are you asking how are they doing getting jobs?
Exactly. Not comparing the quality of the education, but how are they prepared
For the
to
real
enter
world.
the world.
Okay.
Differently. The millennial generation is able to do these things. And then in the classroom, you still need that. They interact with each other, learn the soft skills, and so on and so forth. But they can get all of the content and so on completely online, and that's how They want to learn. They want gamification. They want engagement. Not the same old boring lecture where I lost the professor after the first minute everywhere. Everybody should really have a high-quality education. And with online learning, I can really bring this to the classroom as well, and bring in online learning to create the blended.
In general, what I'm interested in is asking what it means to be a technological animal, which is what I think human beings are, essentially technological, and what that means, and what it means when we push that to its limits. So what it means in the discipline of English is that you look at that critically, which means taking your time and looking at it slowly, which is difficult because we're living in a technoculture, which moves very fast. So that brings me to the other side of my research, which is how do we do research in the humanities that keeps pace with technoculture, which moves so quickly. One thing I'm really interested in right now are the issues of care, attention, and memory as they pertain to digital media.
Not this kind of fight to the death over this issue, but it's a discussion over emphasis. And I think on the emphasis there is a wide gulf. And I think some of that emphasis has to do with faith in technology itself to solve some of the problems, particularly since the side arguing for the motion is saying, well, we're at the dawn of a new era, and you have to see how much it can improve.
So if you assume this kind of quality of online learning, I think at the end of the day, it really depends on the content. If a great teacher created the online content, or if a great teacher taught the in-person campus course, and if the learner took one or the other and had a great experience and a degree, I would say that it shouldn't matter which one they did.
And do you think that's realistic, that if two guys walk into, two job interviewees walk in and one of them got a degree online and one got a degree at a campus, and we don't need to stipulate which one it was, let's say that they're roughly equal in terms of the kinds of courses offered, that the employer is going to look at them equally? I
don't think so. I think if someone had enough money to pay for a completely campus experience and the same quality education, they would have better soft skills. But I think the debate is about fewer bricks, more clicks. Where's the emphasis? And so I think that on campuses where they bring in a lot more online learning, the blend of the online with some of the in-person soft skills and so on can be substantially better than anything we have on campus today.